Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back, and welcome to another episode of Watch Jordan Break Things. So I got a bit of a bone to pick here with the tension, locking straps, tension belts, whatever you want to call them. So anybody who's played with my mods knows that my skitters have a tension belt that's built into the head, which is kind of that orange strap that locks around it. So if you hit L on your keyboard, at least in FS22, it locks all of the trees so that you can drive around like a crazy person and they don't slip out of the grapple. Unfortunately, I don't know what is going on or what they changed. It must be a weight distribution thing. So I thought it was my grapple that was the problem. And I was like, oh, I need to reweight the grapple. Maybe it's too heavy. Because as you guys saw in that last video, when I locked the straps, the log floats up in the air, right? It like floated all weird and was bouncing around. I thought, okay, so maybe there's a problem with the grapples being too heavy to the new trees. Well, that's not the case. So for instance, right now, no locking straps enabled. It's just a free tree in the grapple, right? So if I lock it, I can go drive around with this thing, and it actually turns and zigzags as I expect it would. Like it's, reacting as if there's some weight there. And you can see I'm sinking into the ground here. Oh, I don't want to fall through the ground. What's going on there? It's like my tires sink through the ground. Anyway, that's another thing I'm working on still. But there's something weird going on with the ground collisions in this game, and I don't know what changed there, but it's kind of sketchy as beans. So anyway, I thought, okay, well, we'll have to play with the grapple and maybe the weight or something like that. But watch what happens. So if I lock this load, first of all, it basically disables the physics properties of that log. So that log, it has no weight at all. It's basically this floating turd of a log. There's nothing to it. And for an example, we'll see how it flies up in the air. I thought, like I said, oh, maybe it was just the weight fighting the trees. But then if I turn the locking strap off, the tree regains its properties, and it goes back to just being a normal tree on the ground, like it's supposed to. But as soon as you enable it, now, the only thing I can think of that they may have done that for is so when you're transporting a heavy truck or a heavy piece of machinery, maybe by locking it and disabling all the weight properties, it makes it lighter so that your truck handles better. But unfortunately, so here we're going to lock it again. So I'm just not even going to really close the grapple on. I'm just going to leave it kind of hanging. So it takes, I'm guessing what it does is reduce the weight, because there's no weight. It's basically just free flowing. So you can see that if I play with this forwarder a little bit, you can see if I even just tap that log, if I can tap it here, it's like there's no weight, and I'm not even touching it. This grapple on this thing weighs nothing in comparison to that tree. Like, I'm not even barely touching it, and there's no weight there. It's just, it's toast. It's so bizarre. So, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to not use locking straps, and I'm really sad about that, because it was a really handy feature. So, okay. So I thought to myself, okay, screw it. We'll have to go over to look at their in-game skidder. So this is the John Deere that Giants built. Beautiful machine. Oh my God, it is absolutely gorgeous. I drool over this thing all the time. I think they did a fantastic job on the visuals. But performance-wise, so they have something called a log grab thing, which is kind of this, see this giant floating squarey look on the back here? That is their log grab feature. So I've never really played with this too much, but somebody told me, oh, you can lock the logs to the grapple. And I thought, oh man, well, maybe we'll have to adopt whatever system they're using and get rid of the old school tension belts. So bear with me, I'm using my mouse here. So if you back up to this guy and get down there and grab it, that's probably a good spot for a grab. So at full grab, that's as tight as she goes. It's already having a really hard time with it. So actually, I'm going to back off a little here. I don't know what's going on there. Here, let's drive ahead just a teeny bit. This claw is having a bad day. So this is the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. It's like, if you're going to do logging, like, do it right, man. Okay, so here we go. we're going to close up. Oh my God. Close up on it. Sorry, again, using the mouse. So this is as tight as I can hold it. And look what happens. Right? So, like, I was under the impression, and I looked through this little F1 menu up here because I thought maybe there's a locking button or something, like a button that locks it or something, and there isn't. So, okay, let's do our due diligence. We'll grab it lighter, not at full grab, just in the odd event. So, here we go. Okay, really light. Okay, not even that much. That's too much. Okay, so that's a really light grab there. We'll lift it up a bit. Very light grab. Okay, so that's holding on to it not too bad. As long as you don't do anything like turning or anything. But then it just falls out, right? So, like, I don't understand. If there is a secret button that I'm not seeing that one of you guys in the comments can be like, Jordan, you idiot, you need to hit this button to lock the log. Please tell me, because I really want to know what that is. Because if they have a locking script for trees, I want to know what it is. But this is ridiculous. Like, it's such a beautiful skidder, and it's a piece of trash in terms of physics. Okay, so, again, in comparison, so this is my not pretty looking skidder at the moment, but it will be, I promise, when we get there. So other than the locking straps working, like the physics of the actual head, so this is my grapple, and as you can see, you can go up, bite down on it, and it holds it very nicely, very firmly, very happily, and I could go for a nice little jog with it. Now, what I really liked was having those locking straps, because if those locking straps were enabled, what would happen is it wouldn't allow it to slide back and forth, because this game has this beautiful ability. Oh God. So that so other than my machine falling through the ground, that's something I forgot to turn back on again. So every time I save in the old Giants editor, it deletes all my physics. And if I don't have the updated physics, then the machine... Here, you know what? Let's do it live. You guys can watch me fiddle faddle. So if you guys are modders and you want to know what's going on here, I'm actually just going to close the game for a second here. We're going to open up... let's get the cat for now. So this is one of my excavators. And this is the new collision system right here. So these two lines of code right here and here need to be copied, and they actually overwrite the old masks from the other game. So this is fun to do this live. So now I'm going to go find my skidder. So every time I save in the old Giants editor program, it resets all this stuff, which I just did to fix a tire. So now I need to go back into it, which is a pain in the butt. This will all be corrected. Anything that has a compound child. So let's go compound child. So I'm just going to search it. So compound child equals true. Anything that has basically that is a physical entity, a collision. So we're going to replace that with, and you guys can see what I'm doing. So basically I'm using the find and replace tool because it's way easier. So we want everything that says compound child to now say compound child. And we also want to add this new collision masking system. And we're going to go, oops, we don't want to replace it all in that one. So we are under the cat skidder. We want to replace all. So now everything in here, there's 21 different collision points that have now been updated. So I can save that. As long as I do not go back into the editor, like the old Giants editor, and save, it'll stay there. But once the new Giants editor comes out, we're not going to have that problem anymore. You guys seem to be enjoying these videos of the modding stuff, and I usually don't really do modding videos. This is more just like testing and playing around, but I mean, feel free to keep watching and laughing or thinking it's hilarious or whatever, because it is kind of funny. So here we go again. We're going to load this up again. So as you can see, we do have a bunch of mods in here. They're not it's a big mess right now, so that's all I got to say. I have made a couple of positive movements with the physics on the track machines. I do indeed think I have brought the weight down on some of the grapples and some of the machines themselves, just in my toying around here. And I do believe that is having a very positive effect, on the relation to trees. But those locking straps are kind of the worst part. So now what we're going to see here is... I just got to find my skitter. Oh, did I do something wrong here? What did I do? This is the joy where you can check your log to see why it didn't load in. Let's go check our live modding. So under FDR Logging, this is the skitter. Oh, there it is. So for some reason it probably got reset because there it is. It probably got reset because I changed the collisions on it. So now it has collisions, so you can't like run through it. But if you don't do that little thing that I just did with that editor, your collisions won't come through and it'll be a bad time. So let's just drive this really quickly over there and not get hit by a train again. I've done that about 2 times. That train is on a very short loop, I've learned. It seems to just keep on coming. Oh, we missed it this time. Bonus. So yeah, the locking strap thing is a big old kick in the wiener. It's not good. I'm really not happy about that. Because that was a really, really, really important feature for the skidders. And anybody who's operating a skidder knows that. Of course, there's a big fence here. I wish I could just drive through it, but unfortunately, it's not how she go. And we lost that other tree with that other skidder. So, and I'll show you guys what the problem is. Without locking straps, I'll show you what happens. Bad things. Without locking straps, when you grab a big bundle of trees, what happens is the trees slide on each other and they want to fall out of the grapple. No matter what amount of tension. See, in real life, trees have, they're organic material. You can actually squeeze your grapple and squeeze together on them. It's like like a wet toothpick almost. So you actually get friction and you get pressure. In this game, unfortunately, the trees are made out of solid entities. So what happens is you don't get that cool feature. See, there's the train back there. I see it rolling. And if you don't get that feature, then it sucks. So let's do a little test. We're going to do my skidder versus John Deere skidder. But without the locking straps, it's kind of a nightmare. But I'm wondering if maybe the John Deere one will work better on these smaller trees. So we're going to find out here. Okay, so this is mine grabbing these. So that's normally like a great grab. But I usually lock it at this point. Because if you don't, well, we're going to see what happens here. So my skidder hangs on pretty decently for, a decent amount of time. But eventually, as I turn and as I do more stuff, they usually will start to slip and slide out of that grapple. I don't really see them doing anything too graphic yet. I might just have a really good grip on them, or maybe they just worked out that way. But eventually, they always end up working their way out of the grapple, which is just the worst. Okay, well, maybe I'm just an idiot, because those worked out pretty good. But I can see them kind of going back. Like, if you sit here, if I just shake the grapple up and down, you can actually see them wiggling. They're actually coming forward a bit, which is interesting. Usually they go backwards, but... So anyway, we'll drop that. So, without those locking straps, I can't really carry that bundle around as efficiently as I used to. So we're going to test the John Deere one here now. Now I'm thinking maybe, hoping maybe, and it's a shame because this is such a good looking machine. So here we go. Maybe these locking straps will work a little bit better, or the log grab feature will work a little bit better. Oh, right. What am I doing? I keep trying to use my joystick. Foolish. Okay, here we go. We'll get kind of a nice spot here. Oop. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's as hard as I can get them. But see, like, even... Like, that's just a basic grab. And it can't even hold on to them. Like, what is going on? And I'm not doing anything weird here. Like, this is, unless I'm doing it wrong, like, I'm just closing the grapple. Okay, let's do it really not that hard then, because apparently it can't take a full squeeze. That is so sad, man. Here we go. Okay, whoa. There we go. Squeeze. Squeeze. Nope. Can't do it. The other thing is, I bet their collisions are a bit off. Yeah, because they're using the non-ugly Jordan version here. Okay, here we go. Down, grab, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Ah, stop hitting the camera. There, okay, there you go. Now we got a good grip. But they don't even stay. So, like, I'm not touching anything. I'm just grabbing them. And they work their way out of the grapple. Okay, we got one log. Let's see if we can do her. One single log. And I'll squeeze it as hard as it'll squeeze. That's as hard as it'll squeeze. Like, what is going frick around. The most beautiful machine I have ever seen for logging in this game. Right here. Beautiful. Look at this detail. Sexy. Beautiful. What is going on? I swear I tested this in Farming Simulator 22 and it didn't act like this. This has got to be a glitch or something. But I really wanted to use the log grab feature to try to maybe enact a change. All right, let's do a comparison. So this is just a direct comparison, just to see if maybe there's something crazy going on that I'm not aware of. So grabs it pretty efficiently, pretty normally, just like a real life skidder would. Okay. Gonna go in, see if I can get these ones. Okay, that's pretty good. Back up a little bit, drop it. Here we go again. Squeeze. That's a pretty good grab. But you see on my grapple, it's holding. They're not, like, I mean, they're squirming a bit down here, but they're not, like, the grapple's not freaking out. Like, okay, so let's go for a drive here. But without that locking straps, like I'm going to show you guys, they'll just start slipping out. They'll start walking out of the grapple. Eventually, maybe it'll take time, I don't know. I mean, they're holding pretty good right now. I swear I tested this earlier and they were falling out, so I'm not lying about it. They do slide out. But I want that locking strap feature. The more angles you turn, the more weird spacing you do. And eventually they start to kind of... See that one on the top's kind of getting closer to slippage range there? I mean, I guess it's not terrible, but... Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying. So again, here we go. Well, so here we go. If I use my locking straps, so you see that one's starting to work its way out now, and they're kind of doing weird stuff here. This one's almost out of the grapple. It's thinking about it. So let's just let's drop this real quick here. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this little grouping here. So if I do my locking straps, first of all, that happens. But like, there's no weight there. They swing perfectly to the swing of the grapple. And I even went as far as to remove all of the weight from the grapple. I made it all 0.00001 so that the grapple weighed less than the logs. And it still does this. Like, that's crazy. That's not the way it should be. But unlock the locking straps and then the properties of the object changes. So, bloop, and they drop. Boom, they go up. Boom. It's like Viagra straps here. Like, look at that. That's ridiculous. But it's also, I thought maybe it was something to do with the way the locking straps were on this thing. So I tested them on the trailer, and I still had the same effect. Oh, you know what I haven't tested them on? I haven't tested them on the... I wonder if I'd probably put a log on a lowboy. Hey, why not? I'm sure it'll be the exact same effect. This lowboy is beautiful, by the way. I think this is absolutely stunning. This Brant one, oh my, very pretty. Like, that is logging material right there. It's a gooseneck style, or sort of a gooseneck style. I don't really know what you'd call that. But, oh man, it is just so pretty. So that'll be something I want to customize for sure. So I'm just driving over here because I want to put a log on here to test it. So I have my trailer there. I think this one has locking straps. Yeah, of course. Okay, so my trailer here. So here's a pre-test. This is a good way to test it to see if it's just my locking straps. And if I do discover that, I'll just delete the video and pretend I'm not an idiot. But I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. So on these logs here, they have some weight to them. You can see, like, I'm pushing them around. It's hard to push them around. I have to actually kind of like flip them up. And they got some mass to them. You can see how they kind of like, when I drop them, the whole trailer does like a little shake. So here we go. We'll drop it from up here and just show you. Boom. So that's good. I like that. They got a little bit of mass. They're playing with the suspension. That's great. But when I lay the locking straps down on them, So those are now locked in the bunk. But magically, they no longer have weight anymore. Look, I just tap it and the thing's sliding around. It's got there's no mass there anymore, right? All the mass is gone. All the physics that were, pre-registered. And like I said, my only guess is they did that to ensure that when you're hauling loads, if the object's too heavy, it takes all the mass off the object so that the trailer doesn't need to work it so hard. I'm guessing. That is a bit of a skeptical guess because I don't know, but I can't imagine what else is going on there. Let's go this way. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this trailer. So this is an in-game trailer, not an FDR trailer, obviously, by how beautiful it is. So let's do this again. So right now you can see lots of mass on there. They're acting pretty normal. I'm going to lock them down and see what happens. Okay, so those are locked in there. Let's go grab them with the grapple and see how they act now. Yeah, no, same effect. That's so frustrating. I'm really sad about this. This is a huge, huge letdown for the skidders. I'll have to either come up with a new solution. Something's got to give. Another thing that's really terrible that's upset me greatly, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to make so one thing that drives me nuts, I used to have something called a dead spin. So that joint up there that's moving back and forth, normally when you hook up these processor heads, I have a special tool or a special moving tool that locks it out. So as soon as you connect the head, this part doesn't move anymore usually. It's not possible. So in this game, it doesn't allow me to do that. It's removed that ability. So this is live all the time. So when you're processing, it's really easy while you're swinging to accidentally swing it up in the air, really sharp like that, or really far out, which causes rotational issues. So if I put this all the way back and I'm rotating, see how it slows down and then speeds up and does crazy stuff? That's not good. That's really bad. So the rotational lockout is something I have to solve, and I don't really have an answer for it yet. But yeah, not having that ability to lock that out with that dead spin is a super, super bad thing. And that is another obstacle I have to face. So between the locking straps now being ruined for the skidder and the, well, that's kind of a small thing, but it's still annoying, the grapple lockout thing. But you know what the really sad part is? And you know what? I don't care. You can hate me all you want, but I'm judging the hell out of the forestry equipment. And that is the most beautiful skidder in the world and is the biggest piece of crap in the world for logging. What is going on here? You guys watched it. This is not a modded skidder. This is straight out of the game. And I couldn't even grab a friggin' log. I don't know what's going on here. I'm hoping this is all just bugged to hell and they have a patch coming to fix it or something. They released it too early and didn't check it, or I don't know. But that's a big deal. Well, I'm glad to see my skidder still works, but it's without that locking strap feature, oh man, that sucks. Super sucks. I mean, I guess we can just try to do our best with hanging on to the logs. But the locking straps, I guess I got to just throw them in the garbage now for using them for implements because they don't work. Anyway, just a sad update more than anything, but if somebody out there is playing with this stuff and they come across a better way, or the locking straps, they figured out what's going on or how to change it, please, by all means, let me know. But I've played with them quite a bit and I can't figure it out, so I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens, but we'll leave it at that. We'll catch you in the next update. Hopefully it'll be happier. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.